T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Milk was a bad choice.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our very special showdown. Here are your favorite commentators, Hermes and Hades. This is, of course, Mike the Peace Dealer. And I'm here with our lovely co-host.
I'm waiting for you to say Beyond the Veil, but I was like, don't you do it. Don't you do it. Call me by my name.
Candace!
That's right. Say it, baby.
You know.
Commentators, yes. Please, can we buy headsets? I was talking about this earlier, but like, I would love nothing more than to do live shows where we have headsets on and we just commentate on...
That's a dream come true right there.
Like charts or like, I don't even know. I feel like that's going to be a thing.
Yeah, we might
that
as
could
well
be a
popularize
sport.
it.
That could be a sport.
That really could, yeah. I want to make a ZODIAC Olympic event where I'm a commentator and we do like men's lying with like Gemini and Pisces, and then Libra wins again for the third time.
White lies don't count. You know that, Mike. Little lies don't count.
Oh, yes. Cancer and with the sin of omission, you know, they're good.
Jesus Christ. That would be so amazing.
Close fourth.
Well,
but yes.
Speaking on competition, this was a really good idea that we came up with. We thought it would be fun after how well received the shit show buzzer episodes went.
Yeah.
That we... I love the buzzers. We'll eventually bring them back. Sometimes I just want to leave them around the house. Like when I want to deny somebody something, I just want to like sometimes just pick up the phone and just hit that. Or somebody's like, what do you think about this? And I just hit the button. That'll just be my disapprove message. Okay, back to the story. We thought it'd be fun to do a face-off episode where those headphones for sure. So these are real, huh? Look at this.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, guys, join our memberships. If you want to see us wear these and commentate on charts, you can't see this, but I can see this. With like the little mic thing. Please pull up to the next window. Or, thank you for calling Miss Cleo's Psychic Hotline.
This, of course, is.
I just like want to sit there and drink beer and wear a headset and just like commentate on the messiest charts.
Yeah. Ooh.
That just makes me feel like that's my happy place. Sometimes that's what I do, minus the headset, but it's gonna go in our maybe we'll create like a page, like a wish list, so people know on Amazon like what we need. But
yeah,
beer steins would be one of them as well.
Absolutely.
But yeah, let's do a face-off episode. Let's talk about some of the hottest feuds that are going on right now. Obviously, we've got time for about 3 separate feuds. We're going to pull up the charts. Mike and I are going to talk about their strengths, their weaknesses, and just frankly, who would kick whose ass.
Yeah.
Right? That's really what I want to know. We should have had headsets for this episode. God damn it.
Yeah, it's all good.
It's okay.
We'll get there.
Soon enough. So we're going to start with some of the most prominent feuds. We talked about this a little bit last week, and then we came up with the list. You will see 2 charts. Don't get confused. It's just putting the 2 charts on top of each other. Essentially, we're looking at the synastry between the 2. And also, Mike and I have this third wheel in our head because we know where transits are, so we can also talk about what's being activated, which you will not see because that'll become way too confusing for you kids at home. So just listen. Maybe you have been noting some of these feuds. You can't really ignore the first 2, although the third one's been a feud for a while. I want to talk all about Kanye West's crazy ass and Pete Davidson. And is Kanye actually going to bury him? Like, what's going on?
Well, I know factually speaking, WAC 100 was on interview. WAC 100 is actually an affiliated blood.
Really?
And he's connected in the streets, and he was told explicitly, because he was asked, if you see Pete Davidson right now, what you gonna do? And he said that he's not gonna leave, but he would have to leave. You know, he would have to ask Pete to leave the room because Kanye West gave them explicit orders not to touch Pete, not to do anything to Pete, not to.
Why? Because he got shamed for his
no
bad behavior online.
From the get go, I mean, people. It's very fascinating with me with Ye, and I know it's the Piscean element of what he has. people always try and make everything he does about him being off his meds. When realistically speaking, he's just an independent creator on his independent platform. It's not like he's going to other people's pages harassing people. He's just using his platform. So when he creates art, you know, as artists do, and he says that he's gonna, you know, it's childish.
I mean, I love it.
That's why we love Kanye.
I think I was the one who sent you the article being like, fucking Robert Pattinson has his Batman premiere movie, rents out.
That's an OG right there. That's an OG
Pete Davidson's bar and plays nothing but fucking Kanye West music. And I was like, that's some petty fucking Taurus sun Cancer moon shit. Like, I like it a lot. I like it a lot. It made me like him a little bit more, to be honest with you.
Straight up. It made me want to watch Batman.
Of course I love Robert Pattinson. I was like one of those like 15-year-old girls that was like, yeah, fucking Edward. Totally team Edward, okay, all the way.
What's up with that? So he was a vampire and proved you can turn into a bat.
I mean, essentially, it's a big glow up for him, okay? He's come a long way. I haven't seen it yet. I'm excited too, but there's like 15-year-old Candace that's like, ooh, Edward, and then there's 32-year-old Candace that's like, Batman. Like nowadays, fulfilling my fantasies completely of like an action hero and Robert Pattinson. It's just like game over for me.
Shout out to those of you goofies who are more involved in this conflict than Kanye and Pete themselves. Because Kanye and Pete will meet together, they gonna have a conversation and whatever. But y'all are gonna hate each other worse than they do.
Let's get into it. Let's first talk about their info. So outer wheel, ding ding. Okay, on one corner we've got Kanye West coming in at I don't know how many pounds.
Repping the Geminis.
But he's born June 8th, 1977 at 8:45 a.m. in Atlanta.
ATL.
Versus Pete Davidson's punk ass. Kanye's a Gemini. And Pete is a Scorpio. Excellent matchup just based off of that.
First thing I noticed right off the bat, Candace, they have opposite Saturns. That blew my mind. He's going through a Saturn return.
Yeah, so his birthday is November 1693, Staten Island. We don't know what time. Okay, some of the charts, I mean, I pulled them off the Astro database, but we don't know his time. So I just based it off his sun on his ascendant. So, okay, go ahead. You were saying Pete Davidson is in his Saturn's return because he has Saturn Aquarius.
I didn't even know he had a Saturn square.
And his Saturn squares his sun and Pluto.
Wow, that's powerful.
I mean, is he gonna? I mean, that's somebody older coming in, kind of throwing hands in a way when you think about it.
You know what threw me off about Pete? To be honest, Pete fucked up. Pete fucked up a lot because like the way it was going on, all he had to do. Because this Scorpio and Capricorn do this to Gemini.
He was like, I'm in bed with your wife.
You know what I'm saying? He tried to play a Gemini. Scorpio and Capricorn do this to Gemini all the time. Gemini talk and they don't say anything. All Pete had to do was shut the fuck up.
You know
and
what?
Not say shit.
And that's what I love. That's what I love about Scorpios. That's what I love about Scorpios. That's some Sun Pluto shit. That's some like I live in your fucking head rent free shit. I do that shit. I do that shit.
I want to give it up to Kanye because Kanye responded with the K. Oh, come to Sunday service.
And then he was all like, oh, it's nice to see you're out of rehab. Kanye came in on that, right? He said that to Pete. Like, oh, nice to see you're out of rehab, right? He was saying that to him. I just remember the conversation, but somebody made some rehab swipes.
I think they both did.
He told him to come to Sunday service. He was like, nah, let's meet like men. We can have lunch one-on-one in private.
See, that's what I had a problem with. Because, like, Kanye is old enough to be Pete's, like, uncle. So, like, you can't tell someone older than you, hey, let's be men and meet like men. And then the older person says, okay, let's come to a public Sunday service space. And you're like, nah, I don't want to meet. That was really suspect to me. That was really suspect to me.
Feeding him to the wolves. Like,
no. He's not going to get jumped.
Dumb. He's not going to go to Sunday service and get murked.
Jumped at Sunday service.
I mean,
no one's going to put hands on him.
It's a cult.
Listen.
No.
But I have a problem with him talking saucy to Kanye like he's about that life, but he can't meet up at Sunday service because he's afraid he's gonna get jumped at Sunday service.
He pulled a very stereotypical Scorpio move. He straight up was just kind of like he sent the photo of being in bed with Kim while he has Kim's name branded on his chest. And he's like, I'm in bed with your wife. He should have just been like, mic drop and left it there because...
Instead of writing paragraphs.
Right, and that's the thing, being a Scorpio, you never know when to shut the fuck up. So it's like, you could have gone in for that kill shot, but instead, he like continued to text and go back and forth, and then the last like 4 or 5 texts are just like him talking to himself.
No, but see, that's the thing, like, even though that was the Scorpio, like, that's what I'm saying, he tried to play the Gemini card. He did that for the viral reaction.
Yeah.
And what he doesn't understand is Pete was winning. Like, I don't do the win-loss thing, but like all Pete had to do was not say shit and let the Gemini make a fool of himself.
Yeah, he
backfired by saying that, and it came out in poor taste, only for Kanye to flip it on him and be like, bro, just come to Sunday service if you want to talk. And now he's ducking smoke. So, like, it's just not a good look. If Pete didn't say anything, he would have still, like, he still would have come out. There's a lot of people now who, like, were indifferent, but they're like, shit, if he said that about my wife, it would have been a wrap.
Something else is coming, though, because...
Even though, you know, they're not, like, married anymore.
Knowing that Pete Davidson has that Sun, Pluto, and Scorpio, we don't know his time. We just see Saturn 4 signs from his house. So at some point here over the next month, you're going to see Mars, Venus, Pluto, Saturn go through there. Like, what if there's some shit that, like, Kanye rolls up to, like, pick up the kids or something, and Pete's there, and there's some, like, domestic thing that goes down. Like, that could happen. Like,
I don't see that happening at all.
His Sun, Pluto opposes Kanye's Mercury, and it's also squared by Saturn.
If there's any physical altercation, it's because Pete hit Kanye. I don't see Kanye touching
No,
Pete
I don't even think that's the case.
Right.
I just feel like we could hear something or see something in the media or paparazzi, like, you know, maybe Kanye shows up to get the kids and Pete walks out and says, oh, go see your daddy. And then Kanye goes crazy. And there's a bunch of photos of Kim crying, like being like, no, like go home. I don't know. It could be private.
There's an altercation that's inevitable.
I think there's going to be an altercation because Saturn in his 4th to his Sun is in a square to Kanye's Mercury and his Sun Pluto. It's going to be one person's side against the other.
This is not 50 Cent in the game. Like, I feel it's going to be very anticlimactic. Like, any kind of like, I feel that the volatility you're talking about is inevitable. Like, there is going to be that blow up.
It should be triggered by an event in April.
But there's that expectation, and I feel like the reality of it is just going to be, like, almost anticlimactic.
I mean, I can see where Pete Davidson really antagonizes Kanye with that Sun Pluto opposed his natal Mercury in Taurus.
But it really gave you an insight about how he felt, because a lot of people before then felt that he didn't really care like that. But this was what taught me why Gemini is 8th house to Scorpio. Because based on his reaction, you can tell, you know, a lot of the stuff that Kanye was posting has got to him psychologically.
Yeah.
Because he felt the need to say that. Which, if he didn't respond, we wouldn't have known that. And he could have just had Kanye make a fool of himself, and that would have been it. He would have had the high road, and that would have been it. But he tried to play the Gemini card. Y'all have to make sure you don't make this mistake. Let Gemini be Gemini. We usually
I don't know. I just looking at the transits, my mind is like, there's more coming.
Oh, there's
like
more
this
coming.
is where we like on the divorce thing, when I was like, oh, it's gonna be messy, and it was messy. And then I said how Britney Spears was gonna like have it out with her family, be free, and try to get pregnant. These things are happening.
Yeah.
Okay, so I kind of have this feeling that, building off what you were saying, Gemini is 8th house to Scorpio and vice versa. Looking at that, it kind of makes me feel that both, like, they're not gonna...
He's a Sag moon?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Well, he's a late degree Sag moon, early Cap. We don't know because of the time.
Oh, you're right. He's
probably
definitely Cap moon.
Maybe Cap moon.
He's definitely Cap moon.
He's kind of got those, like, goat eyes.
Yeah, he's definitely Cap moon.
Okay, so my question is this. Number one, well, this is my prediction. I am predicting from the transits happening in April, there's going to be an event which is going to get messy and kind of spill out in the media during the Mercury retrograde in Taurus, because it's going to oppose Pete's Sun, Pluto, and it's going to square Saturn. So there's two sides. So, okay, in the end, because I get the impression, because of their behavior, somebody's going to be the person who's going to come out more victorious in a sense of their reputation.
I see Pete getting with someone else. I see Kim getting with someone else.
Really?
So this could probably phase that out. And then I don't know why I feel like if there was controversy, a lot of it might be more staged, or like there'll be an organic part to it, but it could just be twisted. Like what actually happens versus what we see happen, totally like square like between stuff. But I just love how they have the composite Leo sun and Saturn's been opposite this whole time, and that's been like that friction, which is just.
But also, just I mean, we're also gonna see, you know,
the South Node's
Jupiter
on
and Mars is gonna cross Kanye's South Node, and I feel like that can like literally be about, you know, some stuff going down that's not so public. I mean, not so positive. That plays out very publicly. You know, it could be law issues, lawsuits. I mean, something like that can be starting in Pisces season, and then it just like starts up when it goes into the 10th house. I don't know. I think that both parties will not come out of this unscathed reputation-wise, and I feel like where Saturn...
I think it'll help both of their reputations in a weird way.
Don't you think, though, that Pete's Saturn in Aquarius squaring Kanye's Mercury and also, you know, his own natal sun Pluto was like that traditional opposition between Leo and Aquarius? Like how Leo is going to have all the Pete Davidson fans cheering for him, cheering him on online.
He changed his name. That's Gemini magic.
I don't know.
He changed his name. Everyone's calling him Skeet now. That's the most hilarious thing I've ever seen. But like, not so much the name, but just the fact that he was able to like change like the idea around it. And it's polarizing people too, because you have a lot more people who won't be open with their support of either side versus people who are. But I feel like there's so many people taking this so much more serious than they have to. And what I love about this is you're seeing what they did to Trump, they're doing to Kanye West. There's no legitimate reason or rule Kanye broke on the community guidelines. He did not harass anybody. The most that he's doing is being childish, but people sensationalize everything he does as more serious than it is. And it's hilarious to watch.
I mean, I really feel like Kanye, I'm not saying like it was good or bad. Obviously, like, you know, in my opinion, it was a little tasteless. Like, I get it, but I feel like it was pretty tasteless. But look at Pete's... What
exactly?
Just in that video where he, like, had a cartoon or whatever of Pete being buried.
I'm not going to say that's tasteful at all. That's art. Like, that's him literally...
Spoken like a true Gemini.
That's him... No, but...
How do you know that's not his plan? Looking at his chart even deeper...
It's not his plan. Like, he's not going to snitch on himself. So he's literally masking the controversy through art so that he can trigger people.
Okay.
But he's not. So the fact that people really think Kanye West would touch Pete Davidson is hilarious.
No, but I think it's people are getting all worked up, and Kanye knows controversy sells.
Right? His whole career has been based on controversy. So and he did all this during an album rollout, which is going over people's heads.
Look at Kanye's Uranus, 8 degrees Scorpio in the 4th.
Yeah,
rules his natal 8th house, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Pete Davidson has Jupiter, Mercury, and Venus sitting on his natal Uranus. So he could have literally been Kanye's muse for being like, I'm going to fantasize possibly burying this person, make a big deal about it. Oh, it's scandalous.
I'm sure he feels
and he made a lot of money because he got a lot of fucking views. And everybody wants to know what's going on. So in a way, Pete Davidson is his muse. Okay, so...
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. In an op way. Yeah.
So
but like, as a marketer, as a independent business owner, as an artist, it's genius. Just the way Kanye is able to do this every single time and just have people just you know what I'm saying, riled up. And now he sold $2.2 million for a stem player, which was more than the label offered him. So like, I don't think people see how that connects because they just get so caught up in the controversy. And
I believe Kanye is crazy and he's like secretly a cult leader and he's just now realizing this with these transits on his moon. Wow. I think he's going to like go all out and try to be like a real preacher for real pretty soon. You'll see this, or he'll do this at the end of the year when he like might go
like that's
leave a
angle.
monastery or something. Mars will go retrograde in his 12th, so he may feel like he needs to focus more on his mental health or spirituality.
You know what I feel though? I think we're about to see, I think every 4 years, Ye changes. And we're about to see him change into...
Kind of like Madonna. That'd be a great collaboration. Barf.
Oh my God, that'd be
terrible.
I was thinking about when she kissed Drake, when you said that.
Just as equally barf.
That's hilarious.
Okay, so if you were to have to look at this matchup, who do you feel like would come out victorious? Whether it's in terms of the media or if they were to duke it out in a parking lot, which I would pay to watch, who would win?
Well, I know Jake Paul already offered $30 million for the boxing match. Yeah, straight up. But
Are you serious?
oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Shout out to you, Jake Paul. Like, yeah, you next level. Like, thank you. You know what we need. I don't know why Kanye would accept that. Like you can't cancel a billionaire, guys. Like, this shit y'all doing is hilarious. You cannot cancel a billionaire. You can't fire a billionaire, but it is what it is. Honestly, public opinion, Pete's gonna win this. As far as who actually wins this, Kanye. Kanye's getting everything. Gemini gets everything we want from this. So, like, he doesn't need public opinion. He got all the controversy and views that he needed, and he's just expressing his ideas. Like, that's basically it.
Okay, I agree with you on this. I think Kanye.
He changed this man's name.
Kanye is always going to be Kanye, and he gets a pass always, but, like, basically, as far as I'm concerned, Pete Davidson for the win. That's gonna.
All he has to do is just like not say shit. All Pete has to do is nothing. That's it. Just let Kanye do whatever. Just let him say whatever, and people will just look at you as taking the bigger road. That's it. That's it.
All right, so let's move on to our second, our second match, I guess, our matchup. Obviously, we got to go with Vladimir Putin and Volodymyr Zelensky.
Yes.
Yeah, hi.
Our favorite actor, Zelensky.
Oh, no, that's the composite. Shit, I don't want to look at that. There we go. 2 charts.
Yes.
So if you live under a rock, Vladimir Putin is, like, obviously the newest, hottest supervillain in Europe right now. The, I guess, president of Russia has been for some time. You've maybe seen him in memes. He rides bears without a shirt on.
Yes.
All right, so then we've got in corner 2.
Is this Aquarius versus Libra? I'm here for this.
Yeah, this is going to be a good one. Oh, so Putin's birthday. By the way, a lot of people are like, dirty data, dirty data. You really think he's going to put out there his real information? Probably not. So this is just going off of what's obviously in the database. October 7th, 1952, 9:30 a.m. in St. Petersburg,
They say he was
Florida.
adopted, huh?
I don't know. I didn't look into the story.
I don't know
this
any
is
of
the
that.
time.
I'm just, I feel you.
And then Zelensky is obviously the prime minister, I guess, or president of Ukraine right now.
Can I just, right off the bat, share what I find creepy as hell? Why does Zelensky have his North Node in Libra, and then Putin has his North Node in Aquarius, where Zelensky's like, it's like they were destined to have this show off. That's kind of crazy.
This is what I'm very interested in because, you know, those of you guys who know, like, he was an actor. He played like a war action hero, whatever. Fast forward to the future, suddenly he's like now dodging God knows how many assassination attempts in the midst of what's going on with this conflict between Ukraine and Russia.
That's a real sentence. Like, she didn't make that up.
I've
Like,
been
that's
thinking
a real
about this a
life
lot.
event. Like,
I've been thinking about this a lot.
are we in the end of the world or something? Like, this is kind of crazy.
So we see that Zelensky has this, where am I looking? Oh, he has this
Venus on his
5
sun. What a beautiful
degree
man.
Aquarius sun, and also it's conjunct Venus. So obviously maybe he's a warrior for peace. I don't know. I know
He's
he
a
doesn't
Leo
want
moon?
this. So we've had Mars and Saturn and all of these squares and everything going through there. He's been alive.
No way, Saturn Leo.
His moon opposes. Obviously, he's an actor. What do you think about this? Because I look at Putin's chart and I'm like, he seems so... I'm going to get murdered for saying this, but it's like the difference between being a Scorpio rising and a Libra sun and being a Scorpio sun, Libra rising is like, it couldn't be any more night and day. Like a Scorpio sun, Libra... Excuse me, a Scorpio rising Libra sun
oh my God.
is gonna be like super pleasant, but really inside
That's
they're
the
like
secret agent.
Yeah, like
That's
there's
the KGB
something kind of
right there.
lethal there. At least
Holy
if you're
crap.
a Scorpio sun, Libra rising, you're just flat out like nasty,
Saturn
but you
in
make it look
Libra?
good. So
No way.
yeah, so like I look
No
at
way.
yeah, so it
No
all
way.
falls. It all falls
Holy
in his
shit.
12th house.
Oh wow.
Right? So other people are carrying out
That's
like his
crazy.
shit.
Oh, he's the real deal.
Have you
He's
heard
the real
recently?
deal.
Apparently, there's like all these like
He's a Gemini moon?
Russian.
Oh, shit.
There's all these Russian generals, like top generals, that fucking went missing. Like they're gone. Like they don't know where they are. Haven't seen them. And like there was supposedly interference recently where like Russian soldiers were like saying that
They
it's like a
recently
mess.
went missing?
Yeah, since
Ooh.
this whole thing, probably because apparently Russia's not doing so hot from what I understand. Like they don't have enough gear or materials. Obviously, there's been lots of global support for Ukraine. I heard that there are some of their soldiers that are getting like frostbite and like all kinds of stuff and being taken hostage, whatever.
A
So
lot of that
course,
is propaganda.
Putin's probably not thrilled. Some generals go missing. All right, so it's safe to say Scorpio rising, all that Libra in the 12th house.
Mm-hmm.
Also, he has an 8th house Gemini moon. He's super lethal, right? And we all kind of knew this, but looking at
Even
the
if he's not a
two-
Scorpio rising, like just having the Libra and the Gemini, that's,
yeah, but
that's true. That's
Putin's astrology
Ooh, he's
right
truly
now,
powerful.
like look at the
wonder
Mars
he's lucky
Saturn
too.
conjunction is setting up on his north node in the 4th. Like
26 degrees.
I have
Mars.
a feeling that and I've said this to a couple of people, I think Putin's sick. I think he has some illness with some of the aspects that's going on in his chart with Saturn opposes Pluto. I think he feels the need to like own some kind of land, especially because of what was going on with, USSR when they broke everything up. He feels like the Ukraine situation is like land that he wants to bring back for his people. I don't agree with it. It's just maybe that's his philosophy with Saturn in his 4th. But Saturn and also Mars are coming into an opposition with his south node Pluto. And I have a feeling that he's either going to have to surrender or he's going to be attacked in his home or in his homeland. And like, it's either that's coming or he's sick and he feels like he needs to get this done now and like leave a legacy maybe, right?
I think Putin's about to reveal and expose information that's been hidden for like decades to the world stage, and people are shitting.
Well, I mean, the world is also cutting Russia off, and I think that to some extent I'm like, okay, that's kind of sad because I know a lot of Russians aren't really for what's going on, but I've also heard and read things where people are like, we're fine, we'll be fine without our McDonald's, we can be cut off from the world, like, yeah, we'll be cut off, but we'll be better, so...
There's so much planning, and that's the thing, like, a lot of people are looking from the outside looking in. Putin is well aware that he's been sanctioned for a long time.
Yeah.
So this is someone who is well aware that he knows what would happen if he invaded. And so you don't want to look at it like they're unprepared. You know what I mean?
No, but I mean, I'm telling you, I don't know when this is going to go out. I think this is probably going to go out 2 weeks from the time we film it. So we're filming this right now at the end of March. But by the time this is coming out, it'll be interesting to see what happens because I know the Saturn-Mars conjunction is at 21-22 and it will also square the nodes. So it makes me feel like he's being forced to deal with some war in his homeland or invasion in his home, or he's burying people. There's a lot of
Pluto
pressure.
square too is lethal.
And it's going to square Jupiter as well.
Zelensky's going to die soon because that Pluto is looming over his sun.
You think so?
He's going to get assassinated very soon. Yeah.
I mean, but
if
that's
not
at a
now,
5,
at least
though.
by like 2020. Yeah, but
Down the road,
just the
maybe?
proximity. As soon as Pluto touches 0 degrees, like for him to fear for his life, that was not a lie. Like he's definitely aware he get picked off really soon, and there's a lot that he's not telling people, just like Biden isn't telling people. So I'm very impressed by his fixed sign axis. This is a super strong individual. This is someone who can use his charm, but
You're talking about
Zelensky, but that eclipse that's going to square.
Putin's got some of it too, though.
Oh, absolutely.
He's got the North Node in
that
Aquarius.
Saturn Neptune is wild.
Yeah, and it trines his North Node, but I feel
but we're
like
going to have the eclipse square him, Zelensky. So that's going to change. Like post May, his days are numbered. That's a fact.
Well, it's already started with
there.
the eclipse that happened in November. It's already started. I think that it's interesting because with a setup like this, like looking at the fact that they're both going to be also majorly, I think, affected by the Mars transits coming later this year. One may come out hurt or injured, the other one may not make it. Like there's this feeling that's like maybe they were meant to be this like duel, this matchup. Right? And it's literally about old power structures, people who won't give up power and control versus this like liberating Aquarius energy that's like he used to be an actor, he's young, he has fresh ideas.
That's the most important thing you want to understand. This dude is a Leo Moon Saturn actor. So like he is and that's why I respect Aquarius. Like, honestly, Putin is super powerful, but just knowing that, I didn't know Zelensky was an Aquarius. So, like, there's a certain level of genius that I respect because he is the driving force behind the entire collective narrative that the world is eating up.
It's just so interesting
Against
to
Putin
see
and
what's
Russia.
happened, like, recently when, like, you know, Mercury was going retrograde out of Aquarius, Mars and Venus ingress, it squared Zelensky's Chiron and opposed his Mars. Like, by the time Pluto gets close, yeah, I don't think he'll be around. You know, I definitely don't think, and I don't like saying that, I don't wish that, but when you're dealing with 0 degrees of the fixed signs, I don't know about that. That's
And he's
some
going
really
through a
potent
Saturn
energy.
square. No, he's going through a Saturn opposition.
Yeah, Saturn opposition.
Yeah,
but
he's
also
done.
I look at this and I'm like,
Completion.
the conspiracy theorist in me is like, not that this isn't happening, but I know that a lot of what's being put on the media and what we're seeing is stuff that is also fictionalized and it's propaganda, and there's been things that have cycled and come through that were just things that were filmed earlier, but they're being put into the media. And I'm like,
they've been caught doing that before.
and he's a good actor.
Exactly.
And everybody loves a good underdog story. So part of me is like, is some of this being set up in this way to be very dramatic and theatrical and all of this stuff? So we're looking in another direction. Like, is he or are they perhaps in on this, knowing that they have the world's attention? Look how much money they've raised for Ukraine.
Exactly.
Right?
That's
Look at how
the
much
big
money
thing.
America's given Ukraine.
Yes, this happened with BLM, y'all. Like, this
There's
is no
massive
different.
amounts of money that are
Thank
being
you.
moved right now, point blank, because of this situation.
And all they have to do is show you videos on the internet.
Yeah, and
of
tell you that the
innocent
gas pumps are
Ukrainians
going up and
being
and,
attacked. You need to help us, and y'all fall for that shit every time.
I mean, there's
even
no
though you
doubt
know
there's
real
something
people there.
going on there.
There are real people
Yeah.
you know there who need support. I'm not saying not only support, but like you're just letting
feeding
images
into it.
take you over.
If you're not there, we don't know
and you
what's
think
happening.
you're doing anything. Exactly. This is true. This is so
But
true.
here's what's crazy is that,
So
like,
true.
is Putin crazy? Because he's got the South Node conjunct Pluto, it's on the midheaven. Does he
Putin is a
reveal things to
mastermind.
everyone?
Putin is if Putin is really, I don't believe he's a Scorpio rising. If he really is a Scorpio rising, this dude is one of the most powerful men on the planet, and he is going to succeed in what he's doing. If he really is a 12th house sun, then everything he's showing you is pure misdirection, so that you don't know what his other hand is doing, because that is what you said was like super lethal, and he used to be KGB. So like, you know what I'm saying? This is somebody
He's definitely.
he could probably remote view. You know what I mean? Like, they probably had some secret psychic experiments that, you know, they probably didn't reveal, but
Well, you can tell that he's got some kind of training because he's got
Absolutely.
Mars in the second house.
in Sagittarius,
And it
so
trines
projectile
Pluto
weapons for sure.
and sextiles the North Node. Yeah, he has some kind of weaponry training, right? Like with guns or like knives or something. So
Absolutely.
self-defense in general. But yeah, I just think looking at this, like, Zelensky is definitely having his moment in the spotlight. Hopefully everybody stays healthy and well throughout the process. Like, hopefully this ends, so we don't have to keep dealing with this conflict. But
It's literally just beginning.
yeah, I have a very strong feeling that the
snap.
eclipse that's coming in, you know, mid-May, because it's going to hit Zelensky's chart so hard.
Yeah, that's
That-
a total square.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah, lots of change happening here.
That could
So-
shift things in his favor or against his favor. I said so. I think it's still developing. It depends on what actions are taken in Aries.
So who would win this throwdown?
Okay, so the narrative wants you to root for Zelensky. Putin, undisputed victory.
Putin's like the kind of person that's like, if I'm going down, you're all going down. So he's like extra crazy. Like, that's something you don't want to fuck with.
I'm crazy. So I don't think Kanye's crazy. I don't think Putin's crazy. I think that the image they're putting out is different from what they're really doing.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
Right.
And
There's what we see and there's what they're really doing. So I think there's a lot that's going to be exposed last minute. And like she said, you know, I think if the health complications don't catch up, if there are any, I don't see him losing. I think from the moment he decided to do this, he had the checkmate in mind. And, you know, Libras are steps ahead. So,
I think
like,
he's
they
also
know
busy making deals with other countries.
that
In the
part
back
too,
of my
right,
mind, I
right,
wonder
yeah.
if he knows that the only way he's going to be able to make this work is if he aligns himself with another world leader.
China.
Yeah, something like that. And I think China's going to start, you know, the whole thing with like Taiwan. I mean, it's just, I think it's like this chess game right now, this chess match that's happening to see like who can start checking other countries. Like I think a lot of countries are like looking at the United States, like licking their chops, waiting for this whole thing to implode.
But why is it so orchestrated? Like there's a lack of randomness that makes this almost seem like a theater. So it's like, okay, after we've gotten support from Ukraine, now we're going to get support for Taiwan.
Just reminds me a lot of like World War II,
yeah.
you know?
And World War I too.
Yeah, I mean, just, you know, people picking sides and then kind of like partnering up and it developing into this situation where just large numbers of people are affected, you know, and you always see like one particular group, whether it's a minority or a group of, you know, religious people, like whatever, that end up being the ones who pay the price, right? And nobody talks about, you know, some of the things that have gone on in Ukraine and Ukraine's history as well. And that's a lot of the reason why. And the corruption
in Ukraine.
Yeah. So I think that, you know, I don't think that Putin's doing this without a purpose, but I also feel like maybe
Biolabs.
He's having a hard time letting go of the situation and feeling like he's being seen like he's not strong or not in control, right?
Although I'm sure he expected it too. Like he's been in the game for a minute, so.
I think both of them are going to end up going toe-to-toe with each other. Like I said, even if there's a situation where they both come out of it, one or the other may sustain some kind of, you know, injury or, I mean, I already wonder, you know, where Putin is with some of the transits that are going into his fourth house. They may get word that there's going to be some like rush situation in Russia or where they have Russian troops, and like he's probably going to have to go somewhere like safe and secure and underground. That's the feeling that
Russian
I'm getting.
invasion,
like,
impromptu.
Yeah,
that'll be epic. That would start World War III for sure.
Yeah, I just I'm interested to see, but I feel like both aren't going to come out unscathed. But if I had to put my money on anybody who would have the last word, I actually feel like it would be Putin.
Last word, okay.
Yeah, I think it would be him. I think that if he is sick and if he does have some of the things that are coming down the line that's really going to limit them from the world, I think that he's going to really stick it to whoever.
And then, realistically speaking, I think we have to have that conversation where I don't think it's going to be with this Ukrainian conflict, but within the next few years, nukes will be detonated. Like
yeah, that needs to happen.
That's a thing. Like we're gonna hear about nukes that were blown up
probably
unexpectedly.
Saturn and Aries.
Unexpectedly too.
Saturn Aries, but when Saturn gets
Saturn
into Aries, it'll
like
sextile Pluto and Pluto. Yeah, they'll find ways to. They'll have new energies and other things to be able to.
Like a new kind of bomb too.
Yeah, I think so. So thoughts on this in closing?
I think that there's some unexpected insight or moves from Zelensky that's what I'm saying. Like Zelensky could do certain things in Aries season that can turn the tide in his favor. If he doesn't do that, Putin has it, I believe. And to decide by Taurus, we'll know who wins or loses. Yeah, for sure.
These eclipses also are going to affect both of them quite a bit.
Yeah.
Aspects to Putin's, you know, natal Pluto. And his Jupiter with the eclipse, and then the second eclipse is going to affect them both. So we'll see. And last but not least, this is just more for the fuck around file. Time for Mike's update on how Joe Biden is destroying America. So it's going to be USA versus Joe Biden.
To be completely honest, my whole attitude around it has changed because now I'm realizing I think Joe Biden was destined by the gods themselves to bring destruction to this country. Because like the whole thing, like the election happened North No
sound positive at all.
No, for real. The way he's going to work at this. You sound like
one of those southern like preachers that's the end is coming. Joe Biden is the Antichrist. Save yourselves now.
I don't think he's the Antichrist, but I know his vice president is the devil for sure. I know that for sure.
Well, you gotta send a woman to do the devil's work.
Hey, shout out to Kamala. It's just, you know what I'm saying? Like I had such a negative attitude to it before, but I just seen him so hard at work on everything. I'm not being sarcastic. Like I really feel like it's his role. I really feel like, you know, Pluto and Cap.
It's his role.
Pluto rules Scorpio. He's a Scorpio in the 12th house. He's undoing America. He doesn't even
know where he is.
I swear to God.
We've said this several times.
I'm starting to think that's an act. I'm starting to think. No, actually, no.
There's like 3 Joe Bidens that just peel their face off and sit down for
This is Joe, and I forgot
on
this
camera.
message. Yes.
I feel like there's several people who play him. I feel like he's clearly mentally out to lunch. Like, lights are on, nobody's fucking home. They'll be like, hey, Joe, and he's like, yeah. Like,
I never believed in clones, ever. I never
until
believed.
you saw his earlobe.
Yes!
Yes!
I was like, what the fuck is this?
I love you so much.
Holy
God.
shit!
Oh my
that
God.
blew my mind. I was like, whoa, this is like real.
Go and look at photos
Holy
of
shit.
Joe Biden's earlobes throughout the years. He goes from having them, attached to unattached or vice versa. But I saw that and I was like, this is some shit.
I was looking at it to debunk it. I was like, this is bullshit. And then I saw the guy, I was like, oh, fuck. How do I explain this one? There's no way.
Like Joe number 1, like, left off somewhere in the Obama administration. That seems more likely. And, like, then they just ran this guy that looked like Grandpa Joe.
The one side, that peeling one that looked like he had a mask, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like, what
That's
if...
crazy.
Nobody knows. Like, think about this. For years...
And that's some Scorpio shit.
We watched the news seeing the president...
That's some 12th house Scorpio
like,
shit.
do we ever really see the president? I mean, except for Trump, because he really wanted to meet you guys in person.
Leo
but
Rising.
all the old white ones don't give a fuck. You see them, I'm serious. You see them go out and they do their thing when, they're trying to get you to vote for them and they make their rounds and shake hands and kiss babies. But after they become the president, it's like the last several years, all we've been doing is watching TV, being like, oh, this is the press conference for the White House, so it must be real. Like, for all we know, Joe is dead.
Mm-hmm. No, for real.
No, for real.
Yeah, straight up. And this could just be... But see, that's just the fucked up part about it, because, like, it's so complex, it's so deep. Like, this is so deep in, and I love how he's starting to be more of an antagonist as Uranus.
You say antagonist, and I think of somebody's 85-year-old grandpa shitting his pants in the living room, and you're like, oh, why are you on starting shit again? Like, he doesn't even know where he is.
He doesn't understand.
How is he an antagonist?
He doesn't understand nuance. Oh, because he's raising these gas prices.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's an antagonist.
Yeah, every single time you see him, he's like, oh, this wasn't the plan, but we just gotta suck it up because we're America, and this isn't our fault, it's Russia's fault. Well, there's plenty of gas in reserves, and we also have full capacity within the United States to be able to use gas. It's just people are milking things before the whole fucking system collapses. Mm-hmm. And there you have it.
Mm-hmm. You selfish
so what's he get?
People. You should be ashamed of yourself.
So the one thing I will say is his Neptune being on the midheaven of the United States charts is he will mislead, dissolve, and somehow create some kind of smoke and mirrors illusion effect when it comes to who has control in the United States.
That is an absolute fact. And it's in Libra, and it's attached to Kamala, the true ruler of this country right now. But, we may not realize that until later.
And his Saturn's conjunct America's Uranus. So later this year when Mars goes retrograde through there, he's going to send us to war in Sag season.
Did you hear about the new hot conspiracy theory in these streets? Apparently, he may
give me more.
He may be assassinated soon, I heard. I think he's traveling somewhere, and he might be assassinated.
Well, that could be the eclipse that was on Algol, so that makes sense. It's also going to square his, opposed his sun and other placements, so.
Yeah.
But conspiracy, like, they're going to tell people that's what happened. I mean, it's been a while since we've had one. When was the last one?
I don't know.
JFK? Well, at least here.
Oh, assassination, right?
Yeah, Hussein doesn't count. I think they hung him.
Oh, Saddam Hussein?
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
The SEAL 656. Oh, no, that was Osama bin Laden.
Didn't they say something about, like, this year and, like, how there's certain years that they skip and, like, those years, those presidents have had assassination attempts? And it was, like, Reagan, JFK, Lincoln.
They try to say it was for Trump, but I think...
Who was the president? Oh, it was Bush that shot Cheney in the ass, right?
No, Cheney shot someone in the ass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I miss George Bush.
That's great. I never thought I would ever say I miss George Bush.
It's because because I'm a closet Republican. That's why. That's what I realized. I'm a fucking closet Republican.
Like, little did we know George Bush was actually chill.
And you all thought George Bush was crazy because he was fucking around and drinking beer with the boys.
He was actually pretty chill.
Yes, can we find a time machine and just go back?
Shit.
Because at least then we knew that he was stupid and not an accomplice, you know?
Donald Trump does not care about trans people.
No, we can't leave the podcast like that. We're going to have to edit this shit out. You're going to start a riot in the chat. It's not funny. There were some trans women that sent me messages and they were like, how could you do this? And I was just kind of like,
I'm not
getting involved.
I remember 20 years ago, Joanna Man, I didn't know that would be real life. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was just a movie.
I mean, I feel like, what's his name? Dennis Rodman kind of laid the groundwork for that movement.
I feel you.
He may not have been post-op, but he really tried.
No, but he still played against men. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's not fair.
Okay, so that really isn't fair. And I know that's another episode, but like, that's just very fascinating to me. How like, that can happen. Like that's just like that's something you would never see happening. So
Bruce Jenner did it first, so
right. Shout out to you. So like, you know, I think that's a discussion for another time. But you know, Biden is in the 12th house of America, so he's the hidden op. He's a hidden enemy of America.
And if he's still alive, I think he's going to try to send us to war later this year.
If he's still alive, I love that. Imagine the day he dies, like it's just extra sight.
I imagine that you're gonna call me on FaceTime and throw confetti everywhere.
Oh my god! No, I'm talking about the day he died. Like we won't know if he really died. You know, not his clone. You know what I'm saying? But if they officially release it, I will go out for a drink. I will go out and be like, I will drink to it. I'll be like, thank you. And I know I just said that.
And the feds just entered the chat.
Yes. I don't mean that. I say that respectfully. I do not hate this man. I do not dislike this man. I'm just saying, just by principle, because he is a whole criminal. So, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Biden crime family. And I at least respect the commitment. You know what I'm saying?
He respects the hustle.
Just like Jussie Smollett. Jussie Smollett just, you know, caught, like, still lying his ass off. You feel me? Like, and then, so there you go. Yeah, y'all a different breed, but it is what it is.
Well, let us know. What do you guys think about these matchups? Who do you think would win? Do you have any other celebrity feuds that you would like us to take a look at, or any particular astrological episodes that you guys want us to
let us know?
Let us know. Leave us comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Consider supporting the channel by becoming one of our, not only subscribers, one of our members. You can get readings on top tier. Check it out. Check out our links. Follow our Instagram at, I almost said my channel. Hello. You can follow us at the Midheaven Pod or podcast. But yeah, we both have our own channels. Otherwise, I guess we'll see what happens. Take care.